Hello, profit takers. It's Victoria here, and we are back today with another video. We're going to talk about zero high of week and go and review market structure. We're going to look at GU and we're going to look at the optimal entries, right? And we're going to see where we are for this coming week based on what the market, what price action is telling us. So let's get to the charts. All right, so right now I am on H4, and we always want to trade alongside the higher time frames. It's ideal, obviously, right? If you don't want to be going long, and trying to hold a long position, just because you see the entry available. I mean, granted, the entries can be available, but if your higher time frame is short, then you're literally just going long inside the retracement. Okay, so this is H4 again. These sections represent a week. So this past week, this was like the first week one in the trend for the short bias. Okay, so we're going into week two of shorts for GU. Okay, so we're gonna look at market structure real quickly. And again, this is H4, and we all know that when we're shorting or when we're in a bearish trend, it's extraction, right? Excuse me, extraction, expansion, okay, retracement, okay, and then there's another expansion, all right, and then retracement, okay. Maybe I should have brought my pen out for this because this is going to be just trying to get to the a lot of deleting, right? So let me just do this real quick. Okay, here we go. All right, so I am going to remove these because I think the whole point of this is to count, right? We have another expansion. I'm sorry, guys. You know how it is when you drop a spoon or a knife and then you just keep dropping it. All right, that's what's happening. I just keep dropping the wrong term, and you guys know that I'm talking about expansion and retracement. Okay, so we have our first expansion, right? We have our low. We want to identify the low there, and now we want to wait, right? We want to wait for the retracement to complete, and usually the retracements are about 50%. So what we do is just take the high to the low, and our 50% marker is usually around there. Sometimes, sometimes it might not get all the way to that area. Oops. But what I'm trying to get here is the shape. There we go. So the 50% was around here. Okay. Okay. There we go. Oof, good Lord. So this was our break of structure, break of market structure. I'm just going to put BMS, break in market structure, right there. Okay. So once it creates a low, guys, now we wait for the retracement, and then our entry is going to be in this area. Okay. And then it's going to do this about 2 or 3 times, right? Okay. And this is one thing you could do to just practice on your charts. Okay. And then once it makes that high, this is obviously an entry that you're looking for. It's going to make another low because we want it to break structure again. Okay. Once it breaks that structure, and then you can do your retracement again. As you can see, this is probably not going to be, there we go, to the high right there. Can I see that, guys? Let's see. The 50% is around, so small, about right there. I'm just going to leave it there. Okay. And then, of course, this broke the structure, and that's what we want. And then it creates another low. Okay, and that's what we want when we're going short. We want to break the lows. Okay, so then we get to this area, and this is the third time now, right? So now we want it to break this structure. And at this point, we are going to draw our high, because now we had, I think I'm missing something here. Oh, wait, I forgot to write this one. That's what it is. So we have our 3 here. Okay. There we go. And then we're expecting, a nice retracement. Usually that's what happens. So when we get to the third time that it breaks, right, for that third retracement, we're going to go ahead and draw the high, and then we're going to come back with our tool, and then ideally we go from the low to the high, because now we're trying to get an idea of where we're going to get back in on the retracement. Okay, which is around there. Right, again, this is H4. This is your basic market structure breaks and what we're looking for, and we always want to stay alongside the higher time frame. Okay, so now I'm just going to break it down. I'm going to go to H1. All right, and we can see here how beautifully everything is just in line, with our daily high and low and everything like that, right? And that's what we're looking for, and that's what we're always counting. It's a trade setup when it breaks the low 3 times, right? It's a trade setup. Let me get my pen back here. All right, there we go. The day after, because here's another area right here, guys. This was a trade setup. I'm pretty sure this was on the dashboard for a day 1 trade. Okay, because this here was where it was a failed break, right? And it's also called SMS, like the swing market. I don't know what the abbreviation is, but I just know that it's SMS, and it's the swing high failed, right? So this failed to break the highs, and so now we are breaking down lower. All right. So this day was December 4th. I believe that was a Monday. Okay. This was a great trade to take short once we had that identified as the failed, right? So we get into, and this was beautiful for, New York time frame. So for that day, guys, you could have just taken the high and the low of where market was. Let's see what time that was. 1600 is 9 o'clock for me. Okay. So this was a beautiful trade to get in for New York. Let's go back. So we can see here, now that we lowered the time to 15 minutes, right? So this is 8 o'clock, 1500, and then 9 o'clock. 1600 is 9 o'clock, which is right here. So this is obviously a trade that you could have gotten in a bit earlier if you chose to. All right. And all we're looking for is for price to, it already had a high in place for the day, and then the new high was placed right here. So we had 3 hits. So we could have started the high from there and just drew our level and then waited for price to do something, right? Either come back up here, do a stop hunt, and then it just continue to break down, right? So that was Monday. So let's say you missed that trade. The next day is obviously the trade that you'd want to take. But remember that day 2 trades are sometimes they're a little, you can see this wasn't really, it was just in a range, up and down, up and down. But, it still did what we needed it to do, which was to break the structure. And that just continues to confirm that we're continuing to break down. Okay. As you can see from the higher time frame, that's where I had drew my 50% level. So if anything, if I'm taking this trade, guys, I'm ideally looking to take this trade from that area. So my current day high, let me just do that here. Bring this over. Delete that real quick. And just FYI, the white lines that you're seeing is the open. So I could have started here, but I'm not. I'm just going to go to this area here for London. And that was the high of day so far. So that was what I would have drawn. And my idea would be to get in. You know, I could have measured this area from the high to the low. And ideally, guys, you know, about the 50% mark is right here. So this is an entry in this area. And the reason why it is a good entry is because it is also right alongside the, it's after, let's see, here's 16, this is 9:30, markets are way open, okay. 10 o'clock, there probably was news that day. Just looking by this candle. So after that, guys, if I would have gotten in earlier on this trade to go short a bit, I still would have been all right with my stop loss being around this in this box, right? Still would have been all right. And then I would have been able to just take this thing down, you know, about 50 pips. I'm just going to go by here. This didn't quite go down all the way 50 pips, about 48. Let me bring out my tool. See if it's going to let me kind of gauge, because you know the trade manager, you can set up your trades. Okay, let's see. Is that going to give me any idea? It's a bit too high for a stop loss. We want to take it down a little bit, about 23 pips. 25. And then our TP around that area. So let's go back. Okay, so if we had our TP down here for that Tuesday trade, it wouldn't have hit it. But I guarantee you, the moment I saw this thing not get close and not hit it, I would have went ahead and taken my profits. Okay, that's just managing the trade. Sometimes you just have to manage the trade, because day two can play out nicely, and sometimes it just does not play out nicely. Okay. All right, let's take this off. All right, so now we're getting into Wednesday, continuation, right? We're still looking to go short. We're still looking to break the lows. All right, and then see, Thursday. This day, it did give us entries to go long from the low of the day, and also the anytime that you are this close to the low of the day, you have a swing low this here that came, a swing low that created, I'm trying to talk, and it failed and it closed above, then you guys know this is an area for entry. And this was great for the early birds to take this entry. I remember this day because I was trying to see, is this thing gonna finally play out long for me, based on what I was seeing that market was doing. And I don't remember, I have to go look back at my notes, but I don't recall if I traded this day, but I was wanting to have a decent long trade. And sometimes it doesn't work out, okay? And primarily because it is the first week of the month, and non-farm week is always, you know, a hot mess. You can think you're going to go one way and it goes the absolute other way, right? So then you just have to be mindful of these type of days, right? So technically, you know, we had 3 days of breaks, okay? As you can see here, 1, 2, and 3, we broke the lows. So come Friday, the idea was that if this thing was going to reverse and continue to go long, or if it was going to stay true to the higher time frame and go short, it had to do one thing, which was to break this high. Okay, as we get into the market, we could see clearly that it hadn't even gone anywhere close. Okay, this was pretty much the high of the day. nowhere close to, trying to break this out, right, and start a new trend. Instead, we got a reset, which I absolutely love because now we're in week 2 of the shorts. So this should do nothing but clear 380R like nothing before. It should just clear this up, guys. So that's why I'm expecting GU to continue to be short, because we got this reset on Friday there where we see that price did not break the high. It continued to drop lower. Now we have a new low in the market right here. And all we're looking for, guys, is that entry. Okay. We're looking to enter on the either the open or the close, however you want to look at it. Because sometimes, like I said, the open and the close to me are so close. You have the open price, and then you have the previous day high low, and then there's the close price, which is like right up here. I mean, any one of those I think is ideal for your entry. So our entry is going to be just that. Okay. So we're going to take a quick measure of yesterday's high and low. You can often use this as an area to get into the market, which works really great day 2 trades, because technically once the market opens, it's going to be day 2. Hold on, guys. Hold on. All right, so our mascot Stormy here, she can be a little annoyed sometimes and wants to leave the room when she smells food. Okay, so this is where we're going to gauge our entry to after the retracement, okay, to go short. And ideally, guys, we want to break the lows. All right. And again, retests are beautiful because they usually just work out nicely. And then we're in week 2 of the drop. I mean, we shouldn't have, it should just play out, right? It should just play out accordingly. All right. And so if you notice here, I have drawn these thick lines here because I went and found the area of support that we're looking to see where price may come and perhaps retest, right? Because if you're looking at the daily time frame, we are sort of in the middle going down to the low. So we're getting to the low area. And, once it gets back down to this order block, guys, let me move this down a little bit to right at the top of that order block. That is going to be where I'm going to take all my trades, because at that point it could start to rise again, right? And it will be the retest on the bull trend from the higher time frame. But right now on the higher time frame H4, we are dropping, right? And we're definitely going to keep our eye on this area, especially as it's pretty close to 380R. So once it gets to that area, guys, we're just going to be patient and just wait for the next move, right? But that is the look, my take on GU for this coming week, week 2 of shorts. We're at retest, and those will usually play out really nicely. We're still going to be mindful and trade before or after the news, right? We don't want to trade right at the news for the week. We want to make sure, even if it's like a minute after the news, right? You should be able to still just trade it, but just be mindful. And this is how I do my back testing. I hope you guys got some value from that and can implement it in your trades or in the pairs that you trade. Okay. All right, guys. That's it for today. We'll see you in the next one.